Welcome to the Horse Talk Show
You never heard of a talking horse?
with your host, Louisa Barton.
I want to be a famous rider. I should like to race.
Presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital.
Truth is, I help horses with people problems.
Now here's the Brit on the bit, Louisa Barton! Yeah, baby!
The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honoring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor. The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Welcome to the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa, Louisa Barton, host and executive producer of the Horse Talk Show, broadcasting from the CEP Equine Studios in downtown Ocala. And I have my co-host in the studio with me, Maria Lacasse from Midnight Rose Equestrian. She can massage you and your horse. She's licensed to do both, and she does a phenomenal job with both you and your horse and helping you work together more effectively and improve your performance as well as your horses. We also have a very special guest, Lauren Proctor-Brown. I was just chatting to her about how much I love double-barreled names. That's what we call them in England. You know, that blanked out. We were talking about hyphens, and I blanked it. It just came to me. Double-barreled last names are posh and proper.
I'm going to use that.
I love it.
It's a good one.
Had you never heard that before?
I've never heard of that one. I usually tell people it was so good they named me twice.
Well, now you can say you're double-barreled. You have a double-barreled, hold on. Yes, it's a double-barreled surname. Mm-hmm. In England, it's called a surname, S-U-R.
Double-barreled first name? Given name?
I suppose you could.
Like Marianne or something?
Yeah, that would be a double-barreled, yeah. Double-barreled first name, and then double-barreled surname is what we call your last name in England. When people were like, what? Surname? What's a surname? Yeah, so you have a double-barreled surname. Lauren's with the Ocala Polo Club, Team Resolute, and we love having her here in the studio. We're going to talk a couple of segments later on about polo. We're going to teach you a little bit about the game and chukkers and all those good fun things. You get to see a little action. We've got some photographs from Jeff Garron that you should enjoy, but we're going to start off with some news. I think we have a horse for you. We do. We've got Junebug actually up here from the Heart of Florida Youth Ranch, and we want to say thank you to Jackie Demerick of Demerick Racing and Sales, because this week, through this promotion that we're doing for these foster kids who have horses to do horsemanship and riding with and learn all about farm management and maintenance and all the things that go into looking after horses, Junebug has been fostered and is no longer available for fostering, and the Demericks have done that. So thank you very much to them. As I mentioned before, the Horse Talk Show has fostered Buddy, the Tennessee Walker, and we have one for you this week that needs to be fostered, and that is Rosie. Dear old Rosie is, of course, a mare. Looks like we're not quite sure how old she is, but she's amicable, loving, and caring, and she's a quarter horse. And you can reach out to Brenda Carujo, and I believe her number is 425-0709, 425-0709, and that's area code 352. And for $95 a month, you can be a foster parent to one of these horses that's in this program. These kids get up every day on the farm and learn how important it is to get up early to feed and to mark and to clean up the paddocks and to mow and to fix fences. They go to school, they come home to the same place and take care of the horses again. And on the weekends, they learn to ride and they learn other skills. And they have 8 horses currently in this program. And these children are all the reason they're in the foster program is they have something that has occurred that's just been really traumatic in their life. That would be potentially they were trafficked, sexual, physical abuse, drugs, some kind of parental concern or issue for their safety has put them in this foster program. And Brenda does such a phenomenal job with them and the horses, and we've shared some really wonderful stories with you about even one child was very sad and having a rough day and went to see the horses, and the horse put her head over the fence and a fly or something had gotten her eye, and the child was crying and the horse's eye ran, and the child thought that the horse was crying with her. So I feel like these horses are giving such emotional support to these kids that it's just absolutely invaluable that we do what we can to help. So if you can foster Rosie, we'd love to see that happen. Hobby Horse Equestrian Games is coming up at the Florida Horse Park, October 22nd from 10 to 4 p.m. We are going to learn from top equestrians from the safety of a stick horse. We're going to learn barrel racing, show jumping, eventing, reining, steeplechase, and we're going to have a polo match. Go ahead. The Hobby Horse Equestrian Games will be held at the Florida Horse Park on October 22nd. This event is part of the Equine initiative presented by Piranha, and it's a great way to learn horse sports from top equestrians and compete yourself from the safety of a stick horse. We're seeking businesses who would like to compete against one another in the polo tournament and sponsors for the event. This event will be free to the public and all ages are welcome. Please reach out to Louisa at ocalacep.com if you'd like to be involved. Lauren had no idea how much fun joining the CEP would be and how fast the turnaround would happen. So we threw her straight under the bus with that activity. So that was at the Florida Horse Park, us on stick horses learning to play polo. So a lot of fun, and you can come and do that. And there is absolutely no admission fee at the Florida Horse Park, who is helping support this event. A portion of the funds do go to the Equine Rescue Fund at the CEP Foundation. And we're going to have a lot of fun. We're looking for sponsors. We're looking for some teams that would like to play against each other, maybe hospital against hospital, or big distribution company against big distribution company, or
Car dealership against car.
Car dealership against car dealership would be phenomenal. We would love that. We could definitely park a Land Rover out there for them, or a Porsche. So it should be a lot of fun, and you're going to learn horse sports in a non-intimidating manner from a stick horse. So you understand the rules. Then when you do go and attend a polo match, you understand what's happening, which I think is cool. Or if you go to a reining show or a show jumping or eventing or whatever, and you want to learn how to do that sport so you know what's going on, it's a great way to learn from a stick horse. So we love that. A little bit of other news. Congratulations to Oregon's Gabriella Blakely, who won the 2022 Tevis Cup. Our dear Heather Reynolds came fourth from right here in our Dunellen area of just outside Ocala on Sudden. So congratulations to Heather on the fourth place. Sadly, rarely does this happen, apparently, surprisingly enough, in a race like the Tevis Cup, but one horse did go down on one of the narrower trails, and by the time the owner got to the horse, sadly, he had passed away. So our thoughts and prayers go out to Susie Kramer and her horse Steel. The Tevis Cup keep everything as safe as they possibly can while still maintaining the historic condition of the trail, and the whole point of the trail being very challenging. But they do have 11 mandatory vet checks on this trail for the horses. So it was a very sad accident, and fortunately we don't hear of this much with the Tevis Cup, which is surprising, as I said, for such an incredible Very difficult, right? It'd be fun to do that race. And
It's not my cup of tea. I'll pass
you
the
stick to
water bottle,
polo. Stick to polo. Yeah, stick to polo.
But it does make you appreciate Arabs.
It does, because the Arabian breed is just phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Got a few more things to share with you, but we're running out of time. So very quickly, just prayers out to the owners and breeders of Kitten's Joy, who passed away at 21 unexpectedly from a heart attack this week. Kitten's Joy was a phenomenal turf racehorse. We'll be back on the Horse Talk Show with Dr. Adam Cayot in just a couple of minutes. Stay with us.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
With over 70 years of collective experience in the horse industry, Lip Chip was built with integrity by horsemen for horsemen. Introducing the Chip Link system, powered by Lip Chip, where a 15-digit unique ID becomes a key to unlock not only identity, but also health paperwork, owner information, and even photos of each horse. So simple, even a child can do it. The future is here. The future is Lip Chip.
Enhance your horse's performance, fitness, strength, and rehabilitation with state-of-the-art equipment. ETI treadmills offer the finest European engineering, the highest quality filtration, and no chemicals are required. Follow Equine Therapy International on social media or at equinetherapyint.com. Equine Therapy International provides technologically advanced therapy for horses worldwide.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. I'm Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show on Equus Television, here with Dr. Adam Cayot at Peterson Smith Equine Hospital in Complete Care. And we're going to talk about parasites, another thing we have to deal with quite a bit in Florida. Dr. Cayot, there's a slew of parasites.
Yes, there are. And they're always trying to figure out ways to get around what we're trying to kill them with. So obviously parasites can cause all kinds of problems. There's roundworms, ascarids, strongyls, or strongyles, big, small, you name it. There's all kinds of parasites out there that can wreak all kinds of havoc in horses. They can be just from as mild as, a dull coat and a pot belly to severe colic and those sorts of things that can be an issue. So obviously staying on top of your deworming program is of utmost importance. It's particularly important if you have a horse that is exposed to a bunch of different horses, or you have a bunch of different horses coming in and out of the stable from other places around the country, around the world, that can be bringing these things in and out. If you have somewhat of a closed herd and where you're basically, you just have your backyard horses and they aren't going anywhere, and you really don't have any other horses coming in, then that you have less of an issue probably. So that's always something to consider. And a new wave of thought. It used to be the old wave is, well, you just worm, bing, 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 so many months apart, you switch your wormer, and that was the old way of doing things. Well, because we did that and we did it blindly, we are starting to see some resistance to wormers, meaning the wormers that we were using are not working the way they're supposed to be working, or as well as they worked before. So what we're trying to do now is we're trying to deworm on need. All right, it's real easy. All we need is a fecal test to see, if there are any worms present. If there are worms present, then we recommend that you deworm, and we can recommend the dewormer that you should use. If there aren't, we're asking you to just don't. You don't need to do it, because once those things start coming in, we want to be able to be effective. There's nothing coming. There's no new products out there that are being researched. Ivermectin is basically the gold standard. It's been here for years, and there's nothing behind it that they're really working on currently to as a dewormer in horses. So that's our kind of our last line of defense. And if those worms become resistant to that, we're in a world of hurt. So we're trying to go that way, and I understand. I mean, fecals tend to be a little bit more expensive than just blindly worming, but in the long run, I think you're going to save yourself a lot of headache, because if that does happen, if resistance does happen, you're going to have a mess. So we're trying to avoid that. We are seeing that. It's not something that it's just that. It's not real. It definitely happens, and on your bigger farms, it tends to happen more readily. So we're trying to get people to worm as needed, do fecal exams, be in contact with your veterinarian as far as all that goes. Look at your horses, look at the body condition of them, look at their coat, and all those things that can kind of indicate whether they need to be dewormed or not. But gold standard would be a fecal exam, and we don't need a whole pile. Just need one little nugget. It's fine, and that'll give us a very good indication of what's going on.
Now, is there ever a concern that you take a nugget and you perhaps don't find anything, and later on it's possible? And then also there are some visible to the naked eye and some, of course, that are not.
That's right. So yes, it is possible. It's not likely. If they have strongyles that are shedding eggs, if you get a nugget that doesn't have any in it, and there's a bunch, that's not very likely. So that can happen. There are a couple things. Tapeworms, they don't shed eggs, and then obviously you have encysted strongyles that aren't doing anything, but they're hanging out in the lining of the intestine. So those can be issues. That's why we kind of recommend that you do a fecal every, quarterly, so every 3 months or so, and that will give you a better idea, because certainly those encysted ones can come out at some point, and then those will start shedding eggs as well. As far as the tapeworms go, those can sometimes be seen around the perineum, underneath the tail. It's not very common in horses, so that's good. But yeah, so there are, fecal isn't the end-all be-all, but it's a really good indicator of what's worrisome.
And much better than deworming with something that perhaps will not take care of the particular parasite that you have, because there are other dewormers other than ivermectin, Strongid, and anthalcide, and a number of others that you might actually be addressing the wrong parasite.
Yep, exactly. So that's why we're trying to figure out what exactly is there and just tailor your deworming program to what the problem is.
Makes sense. Very good. Parasites in horses. Here with Dr. Adam Cayot at Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. I'm Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show. Parasites in Florida. Definitely something we have a problem with. We have a lot of them, and they don't die off very well because we don't get very, very cold weather for long periods of time. So it's definitely
moist weather.
A struggle, isn't it?
Moist, heat, and
yes.
Parasites
I bet you see a lot of resistance.
Everywhere.
Come across
now,
it all the time.
A lot of resistance, but I'm sure in Florida it's a lot worse. Should be really careful.
And Dr. Cayot expressed in the interview how important it is to do fecals and not just to deworm like mad like we used to before we knew better. We used to just deworm and rotate.
No more daily dewormers.
No. Can you remember that? When it was like in the feed, like a supplement? Yeah, that was a crazy time. So we've learned, we learned. Science is constantly evolving and trying to figure out the right way to do it. But yes, we do definitely have more of a struggle. And for those of you that have moved down here recently, because I've had a lot of people telling me over the course of the last few months or so that they used to be just seasonal and now they're here year round. So just be aware, this is not like up north where you get the drastic cold weather and it kills everything. We really do have a problem year round and got to be aware. And regular fecal testing is the best option. Yeah.
The other thing I always tell those people who are just here seasonally is we have mosquitoes year round, so you do have to vaccinate more frequently than in, say, Wisconsin.
Yeah, very good point.
Mosquitoes are little flying parasites too.
Yes, and they're no fun either. So, and they carry all sorts of nasty things. So, not to say it's not a wonderful place to be with horses, because we certainly have got access to everything good here for horses.
I saw somebody driving a little pony cart in like the McDonald's drive-through today off of 40. It was like,
we are in the horse capital.
Oh, off 40, no. I think my neighbor drove one off down near 200. Got out of our little complex and drove her horse.
It was awesome. I was like, that's cool. That pony's broke.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's great. We see cool things like that. Used to be, maybe the one I used to see go past my house when I lived near you used to be a little pony cart, used to go right down Jacksonville Road. Oh, you are so brave. Jacksonville Road is like scary.
So it was like 441. It's like right there. I'm like, okay,
it's
cool.
busy.
Yeah.
You know, Rudy, who used to drive for Budweiser, he's always taking. He keeps his horses very close to the back of like the distribution centers, and he rides right down there and says, puts his horse and carriage outside Amazon. And he's like, we can bring it for you.
That's funny.
Only Rudy.
His nephews, I think, carried the flag in this weekend at Polo. Alan Levi.
Oh, I got to tell you a funny story about that in a minute, but we have to go to break. And we're coming back. We've actually got 2 segments with Lauren, double-barreled surname, Proctor-Brown, DVM, and we're going to talk about polo, so stay with us. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Peterson Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care, and our broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, DAC Vitamins and Minerals, Seminole Feed Stores, Piranha, TT Distributors, and Midnight Rose Equestrian.
This show is brought to you in part by Seminole Feed Stores, family owned since 1934. Manufacturing fixed formula horse feeds with mindful monitoring and quality ingredients right here in Ocala in an all-natural, non-medicated feed mill. Seminole Feed, simply the world's best and safest feed. Like them on Facebook now or find them at SeminoleFeed.com.
If you're tired of the rigours of keeping your horse's water troughs clean and free of algae, you need the Drinking Post Waterer, an automatic waterer for horses, livestock and cattle. Field tested for over 40 years. The Drinking Post Waterer is the gold standard of non-electric automatic waterers. Check them out on Facebook or find them on the web at dpwaterer.com.
Horses! Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the humanity! Oh, piranha.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Back on the Horse Talk Show, presented by Peterson and Smith Equine Hospital and Complete Care. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Please like us on Facebook at the Horse Talk Show. You can find us on Equus Television between 5 and 8 times a day on all smart TV networks. You can find us on the Sky on Saturday mornings, 97.3, and worldwide on Odyssey.com. We're also on a bunch of podcasts, so please either tune in and watch or listen somehow, and of course we're on Facebook as well. Got a special gift for our guest, Lauren Proctor-Brown. Goodie bags from Piranha, and there is also some lip chip goodies in here for you. Koozies, lots of products. Yes, nice products. We've got Shine Baby Shine in here for you. Lots of good stuff to try. Legacy, Odaway. Like everybody has a smelly helmet, don't they? For sure. And then there's some goodies. Yeah. And there's some Eterna products here. The C4S is for you. And then there's some product for your horses as well. So lots of goodies there for you. Oh, look, the bag didn't do the thing it usually does.
I know, that's what I said too.
How weird. Whew. You know, crazy things happen. It usually goes see-through. So anyway, those are your goodies. Yes, on the green screen, it's kind of weird. So the funny story, we were talking about a bent hitch.
Right? The bar in between the horses? The hitch.
Yes. So this was a wooden hitch, correct?
No, the one I saw was metal.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
So
he
I don't
might
know
have
how
done
they
it
magic-
again.
I don't know how they magicked it.
So the funny story is Alan was sent to be the draft horses in the Christmas parade. And he was running late because he had an axle problem on the interstate and on the trailer that they normally have the hitch in. So he had to go all the way back to the farm and he had to unload the hitch and load it up on a flatbed trailer. And he was really late. So I got permission from my boss at the CEP, who's one of the organizers of the Christmas parade. I said, Tamara, can he come late? She said, yes, that's fine. We'll open up a road for him. So they opened a closed road. The police opened a closed road for Alan to come through. And he was flying down 25th. And he parked in the horse area that I was in charge of because Tamara put me in charge of the horses. And he pulled in and he jumped out and we literally had like 5 minutes at that time before Santa was coming, and you know you can't upstage Santa. He's the final part of the parade. Him and his wife, Mrs. Santa, join the back of the parade, and then all the police department join behind them with lights and all that good stuff, right? Because that's the grand finale of the parade. So I said to Alan, well, we've got like just a few minutes, we've got to hurry up. So he unclips the hitch, and I'm standing on the other side of the trailer, and it starts rolling. I said, Alan, is it supposed to be doing that? And he goes, no, but this is a massive hitch. There's no way even the two of us could stop it rolling. So it rolled, and it rolled off the back of the flatbed, and it went upside down on its side. God. So I'd been bored waiting for him, and I'd been chatting to the OPD and, you know, a few other people that were organised as a parade, all guys, all decent sized guys. So they all come running over, and me with my post-broken neck, not supposed to lift anything, and Alan and the police and several others all get under this massive heavy hitch and push it back up on its wheels. Well, it's, you know, got some bends and pieces, and one wheel looks like it's, you know, kind of borderline hanging on for dear life. So we hitch up the Clydesdales, and I'm dressed in an elf costume.
As you do.
Of course, naturally. So we jump in the back of the hitch, and I call Tamara, I say, we still okay? She goes, yeah, there's just a few more minutes. So we come screeching out of the parking lot on one wheel.
Wheels come flying.
Yes. It was close. I was looking at the wheel going, this is really scary. We come out on 25th.
On marathon day.
Yeah, I know, right? I should have had a helmet on. Believe me. I was looking at this wheel, and it was and I was like, it's not good. So we get out on 25th, and I'm like, whew, we made it. And I look in front of me, and I see Santa and Mrs. Claus. And I go, we're behind Santa. Oh no, we can't be behind Santa. He's the end of the parade. We can't be behind Santa. We have to go back. And I look, and behind me there's like 50 police cars. A familiar sight? No, just kidding. I was just like, oh dear me. So I'm like, well, what can we do? Let's just smile and wave. So dressed as an elf, I'm in the back of this hitch, just, you know, waving and smiling, thinking, I am so fired tomorrow. So the funny thing is, the next day I see the YouTube live feed of the parade, and the announcer goes, and as is customary, and apparently has happened for 65 years, as is customary, Mr. and Mrs. Claus are the closing act and finale of the Ocala Christmas Parade, and here they come, escorted by... Hold on. There's another float. It's the Clydesdales. So I have pictures sitting in this, lots of photographs, sitting in the back of this hitch with all the police coming behind us, giving us a lighted escort, you know, as we should have. Well, of course, when we get where we're going, there's no way to get back because all the roads are open and all the traffic. So Alan says, well, I'm going to get off and leave you guys with the horses. I'm going to jog back and get the horse trailer. And I said, don't be silly. We came like 3 miles. Are you crazy? I said, come on, let's just go down 40. People will stop. So we got in the traffic lights with the cars. We go out on 40. And all of a sudden, this police officer comes up beside us in the golf cart, and she says, what are you guys doing? I said, well, we're going back to 25th. And she goes, hold on. Right, all of a sudden we're surrounded. We got cops, and cops took us back, and we got like the full. So thank you, Ocala PD, for taking such good care of us.
So the moral is make friends with the police?
Yes, make friends with the police. It's a very good plan. Then you'll get a lighted escort and in the parade. Yeah. Yes, the good kind, yes. And we upstaged Santa. So on the way back, I see my phone is ringing, and it's my boss. And I'm like, I look at the girl I'm with, who's Rudy's girlfriend, and I'm like, shall I answer it? Tamara, did you hear that? And I answered it, and I said, hi. So anyway, I'm really sorry. And she's like, oh no, it's my fault. I told you to go, don't worry. And actually, we're talking about it. We really think the horses in the parade was actually the thing. And I think that it was really good, and everybody's really excited about it. So I think next year we'll just put you just right in front of Santa, or we'll just have you lead the parade at the beginning. And I was like, and she said, and then the police department said, do you want to come and eat dinner with us? Because we're all going down to the police department to eat dinner. I was like, oh good, I'm not in trouble. It was quite a thing, anyway. Quite a thing. So let's talk polo. So I thought maybe that was the hitch, you know, the hitch that fell off the back of the...
Was yours a 2-horse or a 4-horse?
We had 2 in the parade.
It might have been.
And he may have...
I don't think it was wooden.
You don't think it was wooden?
It was metal. It was very impressive. It was bent, and 2 minutes later it wasn't bent, and they were ready to go.
It probably, if it wasn't the wooden one, it was probably another one that fell off at the back of another flatbed. You should see my face when it's so rolling. Yeah, it happens.
You can kind of like jump in front of it. Or something.
Yeah. So tell us how you started playing polo.
Oh.
Have you played all your life?
No. I sort of tried to start, I kind of like found it a couple of times. I found it once in Wisconsin, but I didn't really have an in. And then in undergrad, I had an athletic scholarship for
That's
crew.
no way that's the 1 minute. That was a long story of mine.
I had an athletic scholarship for crew, so I was forbidden to try polo. So of course, when someone forbids you to do something, then
you've got to do it more,
look
right?
for more opportunities, right?
So that was...
So then when I got to Cornell, I did happen to find an opportunity, and I started to learn how to play polo.
We want to hear the rest, so we'll come back after the break, and we'll really talk about polo with Lauren. Current equine microchips can migrate by up to 30%, causing difficulty when scanning. With over 70 years of collective horse industry experience, LipChip offers a new, more effective method of microchipping, partnering with veterinarians and technology experts to ensure humane and practical microchipping. LipChip was built by horsemen for horsemen. Nowadays, the performance horse industry is in need of both integrity and transparency. LipChip is the future of horse microchipping, with cutting-edge technology functional for every discipline. Find LipChip on social media, and for more information, lipchipllc.com. The future is here. The future is LipChip.
This show is brought to you in part by DAC Vitamins and Minerals of Florida. All horses need a solid immune system, excellent joint support, a healthy gut, and DAC has all the vitamins and minerals they need with the NASC stamp of approval. So like them on Facebook now, or go to feeddac.com. DAC, it makes a world of difference.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Centre Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs, EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Centre now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com.
The Larson family has been farming hay in Idaho for generations, with a mission to always provide high-quality hay products at a fair and reasonable price. Larson Hay loves to meet new customers while always honouring the ones they already have. Find Larson Hay on the web at larsonhay.com, like them on Facebook, and definitely visit one of their locations. Larson Hay, Idaho's finest alfalfa, and our television broadcast sponsor.
Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show.
You never heard of a talking horse? Well, listen to this.
With your host, Louisa Barton.
What does it feel like to be in love with a horse?
Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience.
Back in the saddle again.
Now, here's your pretty Louisa Barton.
You're fab. You're switched on. You're a bit of all right. Yes. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital.
Back on the second half of the Horse Talk Show, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. Louisa Barton here in the studio with my co-host Maria Lacasse from Midnight Rose Equestrian. And we have our special guest here this week, going to talk polo really with Lauren Proctor-Brown, DVM. So were you talking a little bit about, you were at Cornell, and that's kind of when you got really engaged?
Yeah, that's when I learned how to play polo. And then I went to Kentucky for my internship, and I started playing there with the Lexington Polo Club too.
Were you an equestrian before polo?
Yes. I've done a little bit of a lot.
Sounds like me. A little bit of a lot.
I grew up with a very intense trainer who was quite the horsewoman. But I've done some hunter jumper and Western, and been a trail guide and groom and barn manager and a lot of things. Broke some horses, green horses, lots of quarter horse and apps, and then found the thoroughbreds. I love the thoroughbreds.
I do too. I'm a really big fan of them. I think they're just a wonderful, versatile breed that can do so much.
I went to the University of Louisville for undergrads, like an equine business program. So we learned a lot about the thoroughbred industry and the horse industry in general. But we really learned to appreciate them and all that they'll do.
They're
really
phenomenal.
And they're really fun to train and retrain for polo.
This is true. I rode my gelding down the road this morning while they were like chopping up logs between like a truck and a Jeep, and he's off the track and he's like, are we going over that? No.
No, we're not. No.
Yeah.
So you kind of started really elsewhere, and then you ended up here in Florida.
We picked Ocala, actually. We were in Sarasota the winter before, and then went back up north, and then I had been to Ocala and done a little bit of eventing here, up from Sarasota, and it's so much nicer. Horses, like horse-wise, it's just much nicer to keep a horse in Ocala than it is in Sarasota.
Access to everything, isn't it?
Yes. So it was very nice, and it's much more versatile, so you can do more than one thing. Though polo has taken up the majority of my time. Don't regret that. And then we didn't leave because of COVID. We didn't leave that summer. And then we found out that Florida summer is actually not terrible. It's cooler here than it is in Georgia, at least. So
yeah.
I never thought I'd live in Florida, but I do. I'm fine. On most of those horses you just saw.
How many do you have, or have you lost count? Anybody that goes, when you ask them how many horses they have?
17.
17, yeah. Well, I bet you know a good vet. That's probably helpful, right?
You know, it does help to take care of all of their vet work.
Was that
That really
going to vet school and being like, I want like a team of horses?
It wasn't completely my master plan, actually. I really wanted to be a surgeon. I did my internship at Rood and Riddle in Kentucky and loved working with Bramlage and all the wonderful surgeons there. But I had my own back injury. So I kind of had a little teeny, I had to make a decision, and I have to be able to walk, because not walking and being a surgeon is not going to help me either. So being able to walk is helpful. So I had a couple of procedures and things, and through all of that, I could barely put my foot in a stirrup, but I got back on a horse, and then I was like playing and learning how to get better at polo, but I couldn't really even walk that well on the ground. So it's a little intense. I would not necessarily recommend that someone do that.
It's inspiring, though.
Yeah. If you knew me, it was pretty hard for me not to keep moving, considering what I had been doing before that, like triathlons and, crew and all that. So I was grateful that the horses could keep me moving. And then I just kind of made a game plan and leapt towards something. That's kind of when we made Team Resolute Polo, and I was trying to figure out what my future looked like. And then, I don't know, I just keep jumping. You get opportunities.
That's what you have to do.
And a door opens and you jump. And I'm a little careful. We have to do a decent amount of self-care. I'm sure you know about that, right? but I find that it works out, you know, care for myself, can care for everybody else and build something and just be strategic about it.
Right.
But
faith over fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's exciting. It's interesting. It's not at all what I would have expected. But I wanted to be a vet since I was a kid. And then I wanted to be a horse vet, and I am. And do a lot of really cool things. And I get to play polo an awful lot, so I'm not really sad about how that turned out.
Awesome.
So how often do you play polo? Do you practice every day, pretty much?
Yeah, so we have 2 main seasons, the winter and the summer. Our winter season is December to March, into a little bit into April, and then our summer season is June to end of September. And then
So pretty much year round.
Yeah, pretty much year round. So
A little gap.
Those big seasons we're playing outdoor polo. We practice 2 or 3 times a week, and then we host a public match once a week for all of those. So in the summer it's on Saturdays. Beat the heat. We do it in the evening. It works out pretty well. The horses tolerate that well. We've conditioned them to tolerate it. And then in the winter, we do it Sundays at 1. So that's a nice day to come out and hang with your family. And then when we're not on the grass, we're actually in the arena, and we do that year round. So we're in the arena twice a week, teaching people how to play in group lessons, and that's where everybody kind of starts. It's a little bit more controlled than a 10-acre field at 30 miles an hour. So the arena is where we teach everybody the rules. It's very safe. Controlled, and then they kind of graduate from there to the grass and then just keep on learning. So it's pretty exciting. We work year round. The ponies are around year round, so they have to be doing something.
So tell our listeners what a chukker is.
Chukker is a period of polo. Polo matches can be anywhere between 4 to 6 chukkers. We mostly host 4 chukker matches because of the level of polo that we're hosting in Ocala. So it's a very community-friendly polo. It's something that you could learn and aspire to be on that game day field. You don't have to be a millionaire. Ocala is the horseman. It was built for the horsemen. This is not Wellington. So it's very community friendly. So it's easier. You only have to own at certain levels 2 to 4 to 6 horses per rider, and kind of go from there. We host a lot of women's stuff as well because our membership is probably more than 50% women. For polo, that's actually rare. Obviously, for other horse sports, it's female dominated, but polo has been male dominated for a while, up until the last decade or so, and then we got women's ratings, and the women are taking it by storm. And Ocala polo more than everybody else. Like I guess it might be because I'm around. But
I was about to say you probably have something to do with that.
I do, but actually, David, my business partner, he was the coach at Cornell for 37 years.
Wow.
He won a boatload of national championships. And if you ask him, he'll be a little sheepish about it, but he'll admit the women are better. We're just feistier.
I've seen that. I've met polo players that are like, we like those mares that are like those cranky little, that'll just go get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The mares will give you that extra little bits. Like if you're trying to win a game and it's really tight and you're down to the wire and you want to be on a mare, okay? And I love a couple of my geldings. They're great, but they just give you the same thing every day. So they're really solid, first half horse. You know what you're going to get. You're not going to get a surprise. You're going to be able to get done what you need. But that final chukker, it's going to come down to the wire. You want that mare who's going to
So you mean at the end of the polo match, Sonny's out. I got to get myself a girl instead.
You need to get your little donkey one.
But the boys are great. We do have more boys in our string than the average, and some of our boys are amazing. So Rye, we named him after Basil Hayden's Rye because he's just so good. He was often my final chukker horse because he is very good, and he is a gelding, and he's a thoroughbred.
And you played a lot on thoroughbreds.
Yeah, actually, the majority of my barn is thoroughbreds. A lot of them are off the track. A couple of them are Argentine-bred thoroughbreds, which is like breeding a stock horse in, and they were bred for polo. But what we train is we take off-the-track thoroughbreds, usually a 3-year-old, and we plan for at least 2 years of work before they're made, and that's when their manes get roached, so that's a little trick.
Hold that thought for 1 sec. We heard the sound, which means we have to go to break, but we're going to come back, wrap it up with Lauren, and then we're going to take it to Kris Killam, and you're going to hear a wonderful testimonial about Epic. So stay with us on the Horse Talk Show. We'll finish up when we come back. Thank you
you to our presenting sponsor, Palm Chevrolet, and broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Equine Therapy International, Nirvana Medical Spa, the Equine Performance and Innovative Center, Summit Joint Performance, and Equegreen.
This hour of the Horse Talk Show is presented by Palm Chevrolet in Ocala, where the entire team is committed to making your experience in sales and service hassle-free and easier than ever with no games or gimmicks. Come in and visit on Southwest College Road or online at palmchevrolet.com. A second-to-none experience with all the amenities. Palm Chevy, find new roads.
Nirvana, Ocala's premier medical spa, is leading the way in great skin with all the newest in treatment options, offering prejuvenation for younger clients and rejuvenation for all ages. Nirvana knows you want to look your very best, but we've all seen people with the telltale signs of too much work. We want you to look like you, just better, brighter and younger, with all the newest and best in technology and all in the most beautiful surroundings. Like Nirvana Medical Spa on Facebook and find them on the web at nirvanamedicalspa.com. Become a better, brighter and younger you. Piranha, your trusted leader in insect control for 50 years. The official fly spray for World Equestrian Centre. From the strongest water-based equine spray in the blue bottle to the familiar and long-time favourite in the yellow bottle. Wipe and spray, we've got you covered. If you're looking for effective plant-based fly spray, then look for our Zero Bite in the green bottle. Check us out online at piranhainc.com. That's P-Y-R-A-N-H-A, piranhainc.com, to learn more about Piranha's entire family of products. Piranha, it works.
My name is Dr. Natalie Solomon. I formulated Equegreen with cutting-edge science and technology alongside the passion that is represented by a lifelong love of horses. I created a product that I would trust for my horses because they deserve nothing but the best for their bodies. Horses rely on us to take care of them, to love them, to respect them. This is how Equegreen came to life. Equegreen, CBD for your horse that you can trust.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Love life! You gotta love the bloopers! Gigi, don't interfere. He knows what he's doing.
It's really good.
I know, right? He's excellent. Isaac Brocious. Brocious, that's much better. Producer, well done. We're switching gears just for a minute to Kris Killam. He is actually at Equine Performance Innovative Center with us and sharing some great testimonial about a horse that would not have rehabbed as fast as it did without the therapies at Epic. We're just going to share this story with you. And then in the last segment, Lauren's going to stay. We're going to switch back and wrap it up on Polo. So hope you enjoy this at Epic. I'm Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and Equus Television here at the Equine Performance and Innovative Center. We've been chatting a little to Dr. Alberto Roland about some of the wonderful testimonials he has of horses that have been here for rehabilitation. And I have the pleasure now of being with the top equestrian here with Kris Killam of Dresden Manor Farm. And I'm going to learn a little bit about him, first of all, before we talk about this wonderful testimonial. Kris, thank you for being with us. Tell us a little bit about you, your background, and the farm.
We actually just moved here to Ocala full-time a year ago. We've had property here for the winter, but we had a business in Naples, Florida for 8 years, and then just moved here like in the last 6 months full-time. So we spend most of the winters here anyways. But no, love it here in Ocala.
Welcome. We're very, very glad you're here full-time. Now, I think a lot of people have done that since WEC opened, and yes. I think it's really a big key part of that.
For sure. Like just the vet offices, the amount of farriers, that sort of access we have to the professionals in our industry is really kind of second to none living here in Ocala.
Very true, for sure. So tell us a little bit about the story of Ayla and kind of the injury and how it occurred and sort of the beginning of that rehab, and then how all of it, of course, plays into Epic here.
Like I rode Ayla for years, and then because I was living in Naples, like I didn't ride her. She wasn't with me at the time of her injury, which is no fault of anybody's. It just is what it is. Horses do horse things from time to time. But she literally lost like a 12-ounce steak of meat from her armpit and chest. But the problem is right where the girth goes. So they brought her here, and she did all of her rehab, and what was in 3 months, what turned out to be like I could get right on her and ride her. I mean, she was fit, she was ready. I mean, we were already jumping her. So as soon as she got the go-ahead to have the girth on her, she was ready to go, and no way could that have been done without this facility.
That's incredible. So the injury was done in the area, obviously, where the girth goes. So that tends to be a longer term type of certainly before you can ride again and put a saddle on a horse in that area. Tell us about some of the treatments that she experienced here while she was here that you feel really helped that and sped up that process.
I think, the hyperbaric chamber here for sure, I think sped up the initial healing process, probably like tenfold at least. But I think the other things that worked were the swimming pool and the aqua tread, because like I said, when I got her and she was ready to ride, I didn't have to really bring her back fitness wise. I just had to get on her and start riding. We were jumping little courses within 3 weeks. So, and that no way is, if without all of this facility, we'd still be hand walking her or, maybe tack walking her by now. But because of all of this modern equipment, she came to me and could go right back to work.
Good afternoon, this is Dr. Rullano with Performance Equine and Ethics. When we had Ayla here, Ayla suffered an unfortunate wound that is not that uncommon. She had an axillary wound and that extended quite a bit. At the moment, it was infected, and that's why we decided to do hyperbaric oxygen chamber. But it was not just the infection where it was actually in the muscles that will impede the movement of Ayla. So our plan of attack was the following. We were going to get the healing as fast as possible with the hyperbaric oxygen chamber. Then once she was healed, we would do rehabilitation. That way, we will increase strength, we will increase core, and we will increase flexibility and mobility. Then after that, Ayla got fixed, thank goodness. She went home and she did amazing. And she was able to catch up on the training without losing conditioning.
That's really incredible. And of course, I actually hadn't even thought of that aspect of it before. But you're right. When you bring a horse back that's been out for several months, you've got all that beginning to get fit again before you can even think about a jumping course. So the fact that she was able to be in the treadmill and actually receive therapeutic exercise that wasn't high, a lot of pressure or intensity for her was ideal.
Yeah, absolutely, because she didn't lose a lot of her muscle, a lot of her top line, like we call it. Like I said, she was kind of ready to go, and she will horse show at WEC in 2 weeks. So, if that's not a testimony to this amazing facility, I don't know what it is, because that wasn't that long ago that she had a big gaping wound right where you put the girth, and now she's riding and jumping and back to her old self.
Really, really incredible. That's amazing. So you obviously, having been in the horse world for a long time, have seen injuries. Unfortunately, as you said, horses like to get into trouble. They like to find a problem if there's a possibility. So you've obviously seen injuries before and seen the long-term care that it takes to get well and get fit again, and get reconditioned. Absolutely. So what you saw was a tremendous difference from the norm.
Yeah, I would say at least a 9 month, sooner rehab for where she is now. Where her body was, 3 months ago, 4 months ago when it first happened, and to be able to go on the horse show 3 months later, that's, like I said, without this equipment, it's a year away from just being, fit and rideable. And because of this equipment here, she was, I can go right back to work and with no worries to the rest of her body. Because in any rehab situation, you're worried about the other parts of their body, like too much stress on their legs, or they got too fat because they weren't moving. And with the salt water and everything, she could, like I said, she didn't lose very much. It was just a time for the stitches to heal and the muscle to get back together, heal however it was, which was sped up by all of their other equipment. I got her and it's right back to work.
Another phenomenal point that you just made also that I hadn't thought of, a horse stuck in a stall, unable to do any kind of non-impact exercise, even is going to possibly have a risk of laminitis, because taking the weight off that one leg, putting it on the other three, that's always a concern. So being able to keep that horse moving and fit, another good point made.
No, and that's as a trainer, like you're always, I mean, those, like the stress of the horse, like it's a stressful thing. Like any of those things can contribute to colic, laminitis, any of those various, okay, you have a traumatic injury situation, but then just trying to keep them safe, the rest of their body safe, that nothing else goes wrong. So you're just treating that injury. And this facility really allows for that for you to be able to relax about it and know that they're going to be able to do horse things pretty quickly, whether they can put full weight on it or not. They can get in the pool, they can get in the aquasizer, all of that stuff to keep moving. And horses are built to move. They're grazing animals. They're supposed to be moving 24 hours a day, not standing in a stall. So the more their respiratory system, all of their blood pumping mechanisms from their feet, like all of that stuff, they can keep them going here, where 20 years ago, they would be stuck in a stall and you're just hoping, keeping your fingers crossed that nothing goes wrong before you can start walking them around. And here they're swimming and, things are all happening pretty quickly.
Pretty incredible. Kris, thank you so much. Any last word? I mean, obviously, if you ever have an injury with a horse, you know exactly where you're coming, right?
Absolutely. No, I mean, they have they have more facilities here than my doctors do. I mean, it's good to be a horse in Ocala for sure with this place.
It is indeed. That is that's spot on. We're going to have to use that on the show. Thank you so much, Kris. Absolutely wonderful. Kris Killam, top equestrian, giving us a great testimonial on a horse that came back probably 6 months faster than it would have if we hadn't had the epic facility here, Equine Performance Innovative Center. Dr. Alberto Rilan, fantastic news on Ayla, and we're definitely going to follow this horse from now on. Louisa Barton for the Horse Talk Show and Equus Television. Thank you to our presenting sponsor, Palm Chevrolet, and broadcast sponsor, Larson Farms. Also, thank you to supporting sponsors, Equine Therapy International, Nirvana Medical Spa, the Equine Performance and Innovative Center, Summit Joint Performance, and Equigreen.
Hi, I'm Alan Davies with Equine Therapy International. Today we're at Engineered Equine Performance, celebrating the new saltwater chilled treadmill. This particular chilled equine saltwater treadmill is a game changer. As you can see, the finest materials are used. The filtration system, coarse, fine filtration, no chemicals. We use UV, ozone, combination of filtration to keep the highest water chemistry standards. Being a saltwater unit, only the finest stainless steel and materials are used. That's important when it comes to longevity and cost of service over the life of the unit. This unit also has integrated massage jets with fine bubbles and coarse air bubbles for the therapy. The control system on this is Siemens industrial grade, top of the line technology, straight from Germany, but also serviceable here in the US.
World-class equine rehab promoting faster recovery is available at the Equine Performance Center Ocala. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, an underwater treadmill, a saltwater spa, an aquapacer, MagnaWave, a vibration plate, swimming pool, massage and laser therapies. With post-surgical care, memberships, packages and BOGOs, EPC delivers a rejuvenated horse through proven and innovative rehab. Like Equine Performance Center now on Facebook and find them on the web at epcrehab.com.
This show was brought to you in part by TT Distributors, dedicated to bringing their customers the largest selection of quality horse supplements, products, and farrier supplies in Florida at affordable prices. Also online at ttdistributors.com.
This show is brought to you in part by Summit Joint Performance, promoting a healthy, thick synovial fluid, decreasing inflammation in the joints and improving the cushioning properties of the cartilage pads. All age horses can benefit from Summit Joint Performance.
Maria Lacasse of Midnight Rose Equestrian's background is in natural horsemanship and dressage principles, with a main focus on maintaining a balance of communication and correct biomechanics between horse and rider. Come to her farm, or she'll come to yours. Allow Maria to help you and your horse to unwind and balance to increase performance so that you can both be the best you can be together, to build a lifelong partnership of success.
Maria Lacasse of Midnight Rose Equestrian is a graduate of the Equine Natural Movement School for Equine Structural Integration and a Florida School of Massage graduate. Find Midnight Rose Equestrian on social media and on the web at midnightroseequestrian.com and book your massage for your horse and you right away.
Hi, this is Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith. You're listening to the Horse Talk Show.
The Horse Talk Show broadcasts from the CEP's Equine Studios in downtown Ocala in the horse capital. Back on the final segment of the Horse Talk Show for this week, presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience. Thank you to Larson Farms, our broadcast sponsor, Idaho's finest alfalfa. I'm Louisa Barton in the studio with my co-host Maria Lacasse from Midnight Rose Equestrian. And then we also have a special guest here this week we've been chatting to, Lauren Proctor-Brown, DVM, and a very good polo player with some sassy mares. Very good. And actually, on that note, let's just switch to the hobby horse video that we have. If you're watching on the television or on social media, Sullivan Hogan at the CEP created this video for us for the event, October 22nd at the Florida Horse Park. Thank you to the Florida Horse Park for helping us launch this event and to just really show the fun of horse sports from the safety of a stick horse, free for people of all ages to come and enjoy, adults and children. Thank you to Lauren and Team Resolute and Ocala Polo Club for basically showing a bunch of amateurs how to play polo on stick horses. And it was a laugh. David was there as well. He's great fun.
And how we took the real polo ball away.
Yes, I know. Like, yeah, tennis balls for you amateurs because you might hurt somebody, and we probably would have. And I think this video is actually going to play at Exceptional Mornings tomorrow in front of 300 people that are CEP partners, is my understanding. That's at, starts at, the official talking part starts at 8, but the people get there about 7:30 and have coffee and all that. But then they'll at Church of Hope, so they're going to play that, and the mayor will be there, and all the big CEP partners will be there. They'll see it.
Got on the wooden horse.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. So Hobby Horse Equestrian Games, October 22nd, 10 to 4. We're going to have the polo match kind of late in the day. We're going to have a little parade of breeds. We're going to have vendors and food trucks and free admission. And thank you again to the Florida Horse Park and to the Ocala Polo Club for helping us get this going. We're going to do some steeplechase, some eventing, reining, barrel racing, show jumping, so some English and some Western. And it should be a lot of fun, and people can learn about the sports and the rules. And then when they go and watch some game or some match or some event, they actually understand what's going on, and they've done it. And the worst case scenario is you fall off a hobby horse not too far. So, you know, right? And none of us fell over, did we?
No.
Which was sort of a miracle.
We weren't really bumping.
We weren't bumping much.
Yeah, we didn't get into that.
No, I think
could get bad, I guess.
It could have been. I think if we'd have played like a whole match where there was a...
Yeah. When you're going out.
Yeah, I think so. Because I was thinking, you know, if we'd have played a real match, it would have got competitive. Because CP staff are very competitive. So then, yes. So then there would have been probably quite a lot of bumping. It would have happened.
Legal in polo.
And then we'd have needed a massage. Perhaps we'd have needed a veterinarian.
Might have needed a little bit more than just a massage.
Yeah, maybe. Could be fun. So we're looking for some people to get involved in this and play against each other. It's be a lot of fun. But Maria had an amazing question for you in the break that I want the answer for.
So, what is like one of your biggest challenges as a polo rider?
I think right now it's just not worrying about all of the different things I'm doing all at once. Not just because like I'm riding and playing, but I'm like hosting everybody, and I'm not that person who ever wanted to throw a party, and somehow I'm now somebody who throws a party every week. So
forced into a non-comfort zone.
Yes, it's definitely not my comfort zone. But so far it's doing well. But I tend to be worried about like the announcer and the music and the sidelines and everything and just playing the game. So I also take little trips and go play elsewhere so that I can not have to worry about it, and then I get to laugh when something messes up. But
So what you mean is then I should go and be a guest on someone else's TV show? So I don't have to like worry about the whole like
You're not worried about behind the scenes. You just get to sit there and smile and make jokes.
Yeah.
It was fun. I mean, we traveled down to Sarasota and played in one of the women's challenges down there, and it's refreshing not to have to worry about anything other than myself. It was good. It was a really nice match. It was a nice tournament.
So you get to go and play somewhere else. You don't have all the organising headaches.
Yeah, that running around like a mad woman. Usually it's our like food truck vendors, and if anybody needs to find me before the match, because I don't have time to put my whites on in between setup and getting on a horse, or it's just difficult. So I usually just tell them I'm the mad woman running around in white pants and socks pulled up to her knees, and so far they always find me.
Nice. That's like your uniform.
Well, then you put your boots on, so it makes sense. You can't see the socks anymore, but yes. Yeah, that's probably my current problem. But.
Yeah. Is it hard managing your whole team of horses when you go, or is it?
There's just a lot. I mean, it's not hard. It's so much different because, like, I mean, we just do it all the time, and the trailer's always packed. So, like, it's that stuff is just it's routine.
It's
just
flows.
So it just flows. But you know how horses are and horse things are. There's always like some new adventure of something that goes wrong.
Right. Oh, the strap is broke.
Oh, or I broke my overgirth, or I can't get my overgirth off. That was this week. Our new groom is wonderful. He gets the overgirth very tight, but he couldn't get the girth tight. It's the wrong order. But you know, it's good. It's really fun.
It is a fun game. It's fun. And I think that the Florida Horse Park's such a great venue for this, because you can go and really have a wonderful kind of outdoor experience in a beautiful place and enjoy watching a match and some good horsing around.
Yeah, and you can park. So the tailgates, the way they work is like, you know, you park right behind your tent, so it's really easy for everybody of all abilities, and it's good for families. So it's really approachable. The horse park's a great venue. You know, there's so much air, get some fresh air, and I get to run around in a kind of safe environment. And it's a really cool sport. You see some amazing teamwork with some amazing athletes, because you're a team with your horse, you're also a team with other people, and you don't get that in other equine disciplines. So it's really fun to see that. And if you come, like we have a lot of regulars and I love them, they know the people, they know the horses, they're following the story, they're seeing the horses and the players develop, and you know, and it's very cool to see that and to see everybody kind of
I see a lot of people posting photos. They look like they're having a really, really nice time out there and doing a little tailgating. And I always see Showcase Properties, big supporter of the Ocala Polo Club out there, just having a good time. So it definitely seems like a family. I always see Jessica and Ben out there with their two little guys. Running around, having a good time, and then I see people out there stomping the divots and just really having a good time. It just looks like a family friendly, fun event to come out and be outside and enjoy a summer evening in Florida.
Yeah, bring your family, friends, and our announcers are great. If you've never seen polo before ever in your life, they're going to kind of talk you through the game. So you'll be able to follow along because they're going to talk you through it. You know, so you can cheer for people and you know who's doing what, and you'll be less lost than when I went to my first football game and had to pay attention.
I'm still lost on American football. Sorry,
I thought that the line on the TV. This is embarrassing to admit. Where did that go? It's not on the field. I don't know where the down is. Like, what are we doing
Is that
here?
the one that's always moving? Like the
flag?
Yeah,
the flag, right? Well, there's a flag, but if you watch it on TV, there's a big old line across the field. Well, it's gone in real life.
Right.
Without the line, I don't know what's going on.
I'm thoroughly baffled by American football. Still, to this day, doesn't matter how much I watch it, I don't get it. So every time I think it's getting exciting, it stops.
Yeah, right. yeah. Polo keeps on rolling.
Lauren, I want to thank you so much for being with us. I can't believe we're at the last minute. I think that's the fastest show we've had in weeks. It flew by. Thank you, guys, both of you.
We do like to go fast.
We do. That's true. Galloping. Whether you're in Ocala, Marion County, the horse capital of the world or not, happy horsing around. Till the same time next week.